So here is the front, pretty classic. We have the Star Wars logo, the Death Star, the Skywalker Saga written here. I don't know if you can read the End Saga, but Skywalker you can read because it's white. Turn it around, there isn't much going on. So without further ado, let's open it up. One thing is that the material is not that great because it leaves a lot of fingerprints, but it's sturdy enough to withstand all the stress that you're gonna put it through to enjoy the movies that are inside. Because as you would see, it's not an easy edition to open because you have to do this. These things don't even come off. So you pick it up like this. And as you can see, you have this kind of binder with Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga written in a very nice way. Behind, you have the Lucasfilm logo. And as you can see again, it's a pretty thick boy. Okay, let's close this up so that I have a pretty nice way to hold it for you guys. Okay, let's open it up. Star Wars, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I think I put the letter from Mark Hamill exactly at the end. So let's start from here. And it says the following. What an extraordinary journey it's been. Back in 1976, when Carrie, Harrison and I were testing for our roles in what was then called The Adventures of Luke Starkiller, as taken from the Journal of the Wilson Saga 1, the Star Wars, there's no way we could have known what an incredibly rich and imaginative setup adventure this obscure little space movie will launch, inspiring 8 more chapters to tell the entire Skywalker story. For some of you, that journey began with us over 40 years ago, inviting Star Wars into your lives from the seats of just a few dozen theaters in its first days of release. For others, you may have joined us somewhere along the way from the harrowing saga of young Anakin's descent to the dark side in the prequel trilogy or the introduction of the entirely new generation of heroes in the sequel trilogy. As Carrie once said, Star Wars is about family, and that is what we have all become. One giant community that shares the common experience of these stories and the fundamental values they instill in us. Whether you're a relative newcomer to the Star Wars galaxy or a long-time UPF, ultra passionate fan, I am deeply thankful for your continued enthusiasm and dedication to George's faraway galaxy, which will continue to grow with new storytellers building an even bigger galaxy filled with heroes, villain, action, romance, and of course, the Force. May the Force be with you always, Mark Hamill. Real and heartfelt letter, really like it. Thank you, Mark Hamill. Okay, so back to the binder. Again, open it up. We already seen this. And here we have all the various movies. The movies are presented this way with previous artworks. Here we have 2 fighter jets, which are really iconic from The Phantom Menace. Here we have the discs, which are printed in Italian. This is the 4K edition of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And here is the standard Blu-ray. I already watched the 4K versions of the prequels, and in terms of quality, the 4K of The Phantom Menace is kind of subpar, and same can be said despite the beautiful artwork we have over here for Attack of the Clones, so Episode 2, can be said indeed for Episode 2 because the 4K Blu-ray was not great. Here we have a 4K with Yoda, and here we have the standard Blu-ray with the clones. Then we have Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, aka probably my favorite Star Wars movie. And here we have a pre-visualization artwork for the Battle of Mustafar between Anakin and Obi-Wan, one of the greatest action sequences of all Star Wars, which was kind of directed by Steven Spielberg, or at least he gave the major inputs for its artistic execution. And in terms of quality of the 4K, here is the 4K disc with Anakin descended to the dark side. This is an excellent 4K disc. Even though the movie was shot on full HD digital, they did a great job in upscaling, and the HDR10 is majestic. It looks stunning, at least on my OLED. And here is the standard Blu-ray. Finally moving to people's favorite trilogy, the original trilogy. So episode 4, 5, and 6. Here is concept art for A New Hope. And it's beautiful. We have Chewie, R2-D2, C-3PO, Obi-Wan, Luke, and Han Solo. And of course, the iconic Millennium Falcon. Here is the 4K disc of A New Hope. Sorry, Deadpool. And here is the standard Blu-ray. As you can see, they are all region-free, so that's great. Here you have Empire Strikes Back, the Cloud City of Bespin, Ralph McQuarrie's concept art or pre-visualization art, really beautiful. And here we have the 4K and the standard Blu-ray. And now finally we have Ralph McQuarrie's art for Return of the Jedi. Really beautiful art here, probably the best in the book, I guess. And here we have Return of the Jedi 4Ks, this, and the standard Blu-ray. This is my least favorite Star Wars movie, and that's simply because I think it's more of an adventure movie than a Star Wars movie. And I get it, Star Wars is adventure, but this felt a lot more adventure than actual Star Wars, you know? And anyways, little parentheses about the original trilogy 4K versions. These apparently are not great transfers. They are not bad, but they are not great. And the problem is, again, these are the special edition versions of the movie. And for the purists, you can actually go and find your way to download the 4K 77, 4K 80, and 4K 83 project, where a group of fans put together versions of the original theatrical cuts, 35mm versions, various. They restored them and they've scanned in 4K, they graded them, even giving them HDR. And those are the best versions available of the original trilogy, especially if you're a purist and you want Han shooting first, and the original cuts without the special editions, bells and whistles. You know, I have them and I am okay with saying it because I have the movies right here. I mean, I bought them, and it's really interesting that Disney didn't take them down yet, maybe because they know fans want to watch them. And so kudos to them for not taking it down, and you can find a way to download them. And credits to everyone who worked on those versions. They are fantastic, they are stunning, and it's incredible that it's fans' work, you know? Okay, let's keep going on with the sequel trilogy. Here we have concept art for The Force Awakens, which I really liked. And here is the 4K for The Force Awakens. As you know, I also have their 3D version. And here we have, and you'll see it's the same exact disc, the standard Blu-ray. Sorry again, Deadpool. Here we have a concept art of The Last Jedi, the most hated Star Wars movie of all time. I really love The Last Jedi. Here we have Luke Skywalker force using, and if you know, you know, during the final part of the movie. I really enjoyed this one because I really loved the storyline. I really loved how Rian Johnson developed the characters, and it's a movie about failure, and it's kind of ironic how the movie failed to resonate with fans, I guess. Not me, I really loved it. Here it is, the 4K Blu-ray, The Last Jedi. And here is the standard Blu-ray. Now we have my second least favorite Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker, though again, I haven't watched it since it released. Really beautiful artwork. All three sequel movies look stunning. They are technical marvels in my opinion, and they are beautiful to look at, but to enjoy it's a little bit less because of Rise of Skywalker let down, I guess. Here we have Rey and Kylo Ren battling it out in an artwork. Really beautiful. Here is the 4K version with Kylo Ren on it. And here is the standard Blu-ray with Ray on it. Now we're moving on to the bonus discs. The bonus part is backstage photos of the movies. Here we have a backstage photo of our Grand Arena miniature from The Phantom Menace. And here we have Anthony Daniels in costume as C-3PO during a break on Attack of the Clones. Here is the bonus disc for The Phantom Menace. And here is the bonus disc for Attack of the Clones. Here you have a backstage photo of Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen battling General Grievous Magna Guards. And here we have a way more historical photo of them shooting in Tunisia for Mos Eisley. And here you have Mark Hamill, you have Alec Guinness, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, R2-D2 of course, and the camera crew really beautiful. Really takes you back, and it's somewhat nostalgic, even if I wasn't even nearly alive from when this was shot. Here is the bonus disc for Revenge of the Sith. Here is the bonus disc for A New Hope. Turn it around, and here we have two backstage photos from Phil Tippett animating the AT-ATs for Battle of Hoth of The Empire Strikes Back, and George Lucas inspecting this Death Star second model for Return of the Jedi. Here is the disc for Empire Strikes Back's bonus, and here is the one for Return of the Jedi. Now here we have a backstage photo from The Force Awakens with director J.J. Abrams directing again Daisy Ridley with the big Jeep camera setup, really beautiful. This sequence I think it's from when they present Rey's character, which is one of the best character presenting sequences of all cinema in my opinion, and it should be studied to how to present your character. And here instead we have Fish's favorite director Rian Johnson directing Chewbacca, which I don't think it was Peter Mayhew, I think it was already another actor, and Daisy Ridley in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. Here is the bonus disc for Force Awakens. You have J.J. Abrams and Harrison Ford. And here you have the one from The Last Jedi with Rian Johnson talking to Anthony Daniels in a C-3PO costume. And finally, we have the last two shots. They are both from Rise of Skywalker. We have J.J. Abrams directing Adam Driver. And then we have Oscar Isaac and John Boyega having fun during a break on, again, Rise of Skywalker. And here is the bonus Blu-ray. And here it is. That's it. Put back the letter from Mark Hamill. And I'd say let's put everything back. So, I know that you might think that this is not all that important of an edition for Star Wars, especially because of the whole original trilogy special edition stuff, but I had to do this for the 100th episode of Loot Crate Collection because to me, Star Wars is cinema, is the definition of the theatrical experience. And aside from the fact that I'm really mad that Disney keeps dishing out Star Wars TV shows, to me Star Wars should only stay in theaters. Animated shows are fine. Nothing that is in the live action show can be consequential to the mainline movies because not everyone watches the shows. And secondly, everything is based in the Skywalker saga, almost everything, so it cannot have any real consequence, whether it be Andor, whether it be The Mandalorian, whether it be Ahsoka, The Book of Boba Fett, any of that. I enjoyed Skeleton Crew because it was a completely different story. that has almost no relation to the Skywalker saga. I didn't enjoy all that much The Acolyte, much like a lot of people, but I appreciated the idea. But again, that idea of the first Sith showing up in 1,000 years, it should be in theaters as a movie and not as a show. Obi-Wan was a freaking movie. It was so obvious, it was painfully obvious while you're watching it. So, but anyways, I'm digressing. Everyone associates Star Wars to periods of their lives. My favorite Star Wars memory is probably watching Revenge of the Sith in theaters with my father back when it came out, and it's still probably my favorite Star Wars movie. Objectively, honestly, Empire Strikes Back and a couple of the sequel trilogy, like I mentioned during the unboxing. I will always defend The Last Jedi with all myself. And still, it is cinema. It's the most important property in cinema. And I mean, even Disney, while the content quality may vary, it's still giving it dignity and importance and respect. And hopefully the reduction of TV shows and going back into the movies again, they will also make it justice quality-wise. Anyways, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? What's your favorite Star Wars trilogy? Let me know down in the comments. Did you grow up with the prequels? Did you grow up with the original trilogy? Or you grew up, and that means you're really young, and some of the movies that I present here in Local Republic Collection you shouldn't watch with the sequel trilogy. Let me know all of that. Let me know what's your favorite Star Wars character. Let me know what's your favorite Star Wars story. Well, let me know everything about Star Wars. We love Star Wars. In the end, that's the best thing that ever came out in cinemas, probably. Or, again, the most important thing ever for cinema. So we should cherish it and protect it. Anyways, if you like this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and or follow Weekos on all social media. We are YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, and Twitch. My name is Luke Ripa. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.